All right, just got the YouTube stream started. That should be up and ready to go. Looks like we're back up. We're going to go live on Facebook now as well. Hopping on the live stream. For those of you who are very, very early on the live stream, and I'll repeat this in a little bit. Way this is going to work here is we may have to hop on air a couple of times, and we'll try to simul stream from our digital platforms as well as hopping on air if we need to. What's up? Oh, it's done. Okay.
Okay. It's not ready.
And now it looks like we're good.
Okay. Great.
Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Maybe it just needed to wait until 10:35 to
Possibly.
get. So I think we're good.
The little trigger that we have whenever.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Cool. Okay. So we're live on the .com now. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Why don't you close the door now?
Leave it open because it's hot in here. Thank you.
Okay, I forgot.
Yeah. Jose, first comment on YouTube. Good evening. Got some thunderstorms rolling through. My biggest concern right now is for southern Lee County, Giddings specifically. So that's where I'm going to focus most of the attention for the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. This is the concern here, and I'll overlay that with the severe thunderstorm warnings that include Lee County and Burleson County also. Here, we're going to super zoom in and show you those warnings. Again, that includes Caldwell technically, though I think that stronger wind's actually going to stay to y'all's west. And I apologize, this looks super busy. So give me 1 second and we'll reformat this here for you for something that you can actually use. All right. So here's another look at velocity, and again, my biggest concern here is this monster wind, strong straight line wind rolling into Giddings as we speak. So this is the latest look at potential wind speeds in between Camp Swift and Giddings. Portions of this sampling up to 85 miles per hour. Just a big wind moving into southern Lee County right now. It's not quite as bad on the northern edge of this storm, but still pretty big wind potential. This is building a little bit to the east, but this is mainly moving to the gust front, especially, is mainly moving to the south. So that's my biggest concern here. And again, there's very, very heavy rain with this. The storm has picked up forward speed, so the flooding threat has gone down. But really, my biggest concern, and I want to take this out of motion here once you look at that a couple of times and show you that my biggest concern is this area here that's eventually going to move into Fayette County. And I think within the next 20 minutes or so, that's going to be more of a Fayette County storm, but we need to watch that for Burton as well. And let me put a storm track on there because this has actually picked up a forward speed a pretty good deal. So let's talk, again, just the most specifically the strongest winds that we had with this. And I beg your pardon, I'm going to have to edit that because now it's moving more like 40 miles per hour where it was moving like 10. The momentum of this downdraft has really made this storm a lot quicker moving. So I'm going to zoom out here so we can put that specifically the strongest part of the storm here where you see those big brighter colors that's almost kind of turning orange, like almost a peach color. And like what we sampled at the beginning of the stream, we could be very well looking at 80, 85 mile per hour winds. That's moving into Giddings right now. Again, that's my biggest concern there for you is that storm packing winds up to 90 miles per hour. Now, most of the people watching the stream, you're not going to see that, but that's what I'm spending most of my time on here because that's my biggest concern. I know that eventually this is going to move into Fayette County and kind of away from most of our viewers here locally. But I know there's at least a few of you in Giddings that, kind of split your time between us and the Austin stations and KBTX and KWTX. And so I'm taking that strongest wind gust again, which is moving south and a little bit to the east. And I'm putting a storm track on there for you. Giddings here, like within the next 5 to 10 minutes. If the wind's not already whipping in Giddings, it is at that Highway 77 and Highway 290 interchange within the next 5 minutes. And then it moves out of the county pretty quickly after that. Like within the next 20 to 30 minutes, that stronger core of the wind is going to move it more into Fayette County and then south and east for there. So we'll also need to watch that for Austin County too, as that stronger wind is moving your way. Now, I've had some folks in the stream already asking about Burleson County as well. Y'all are technically under a severe thunderstorm warning, but what we're looking at with this, and I'm going to put this back in motion here and kind of just show you the direction that it's moving, is far less strong storms, but potentially still, it would not shock me if we're still looking at the potential for some damaging wind gusts as well. And this is the way that it's moving, is south and east. And again, that pocket of very, very strong wind is moving right into Giddings as we speak. So that's my biggest concern there. And we will go from there. Anderson is in the bullseye. No, it's not. Unless I'm misunderstanding you. No, it is. This is very far away from Grimes County. And sorry, I'm kind of neglecting comments right now, just because this is the most pressing issue here, is that very, very strong straight line wind potential. So I'm going to take this out of our motion right here, and I'll make sure I'm going to get you a more accurate storm motion here, because this is really picked up forward speed moving southeast at 35. Okay, so I had that pretty good just on my estimates. I'm going to bump that up just a little bit. Yeah, I had it moving at 40. I like that actually a little bit better. And again, we're going to draw and include more of y'all here. This is not necessarily for the destructive wind moving through, but the potential for severe wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, especially on the south side of that. But again, Giddings here within the next 5 minutes. If it's not already very windy for you, it is about to get very, very windy. Deanville, I know we had a couple people asking about that. The strong wind arriving there within the next 10 to 15. Friendstat closer to about 11 o'clock. Assuming we see this continue to roll through southern Burleson County. Lyons at about 11:10. Especially on the west side of Lyons, in between there and Friendstat. Gay Hill, other Washington County folks, Burton, about 11:15 is when the strong winds arrive there for you. So this storm's kind of bowing out a little bit, and it looked like it wanted to move a little bit more east than south. And so we're still seeing that kind of build back to the east a little bit. There is a potential here that especially the stronger wind stays well to the west of BCS, but very real severe wind concern with this moving into Giddings right now. And so if I haven't mentioned y'all, I think that means not necessarily that you're in the clear, but that you're not in quite as bad of circumstances as elsewhere. I'm just looking at a couple of comments here right now. Yeah, Round Top, it's probably going to get windier before things calm down. So if you're not under severe thunderstorm warning yet, which I don't believe you are, Round Top probably will be here. Okay, you are. Yeah. So again, it's on its way. It'll be there within the next 45 minutes to an hour. Somebody asking about Rockdale, Thorndale area. Heavy rain right now. Probably still some strong wind, but the worst has passed, y'all. So as you start to feel the wind calm down, that will continue through the rest of the evening. The worst has passed, y'all, in Milam County. So again, still some severe wind gusts possible in Burleson County. I won't rule that out, but like I said at the start of this stream, my biggest concern here is for southern Lee County. We're still sampling the potential, even as far back north as Lexington, of up to 60, 65 mile per hour winds. But this, again, it's right over 290, just about to be at the 290 and Highway 77 intersection is where we're really poking up in there and seeing 75, 80, and at one point we saw the potential for even 90 mile per hour wind gusts. That's moving through Giddings right now. So if you are in Giddings, some folks that are, I would say in between Giddings and about Dimebox, but probably more to the south there. So more like Giddings to Carmine, and then back down towards Smithville, eventually Round Top after that. You need to be inside. Again, we're not talking an imminent tornado threat, but the wind gusts possibility of getting straight line wind damage to about 80, 85 miles per hour is very real with that portion of the storm. Burleson County, folks, you technically have a severe thunderstorm warning there for you, but the threat there for damage is a lot less concerning to me than what we see moving through the Giddings area right now. And that little sector of that, what we would call downdraft, the gust front, whatever you want to call it, is moving more to the south than it is to the south and east. I'm going to put this in motion here just over the past 30 minutes and kind of show you the way that it's moving. So it's moving through Giddings as we speak. And again, I think we'll find out pretty soon the extent of the wind there as we potentially get some data on those gusts. Somerville, y'all are going to get in on some wind as well. But again, I think the stronger portion of the wind, I was more worried about that for Carmine. Burton, we'll need to watch that for you too. But I think this is going to be more bound for Fayette County than Washington County. Hail chance looks very low at this point. I mean, the severe thunderstorm warning was warned for the potential for up to quarter-size hail. That's, we're seeing maybe penny to nickel-size hail across Lee County right now. Could we see that build back into Burleson County? Yeah, it's a possibility. But I think damaging hail is not a huge concern right now. But we definitely need to watch that. And what we're also kind of looking at, you see a little bit of maybe bowing out that segment moving into Caldwell. So we could be looking at some enhanced wind there here in just a little bit too. And if we get that, if I start to see that get a little brighter on the velocity signature, we may have to just kind of simul stream here and hop on air for a little bit as well. I've been trying to just kind of keep this on our digital platforms. But if we need to hop on air, absolutely we will. So again, if I haven't talked about you in the past, 5 minutes or so, chances are there's not a huge severe threat for you. My biggest concern here still with this storm is southern Lee County. So Giddings especially, big wind moving through right now. And I bet if you're watching this from Giddings, you already know that. Madisonville, y'all might see some rain and rumbles overnight, but I don't expect much for y'all. Caldwell, more rain's coming your way. Bryan is TBD. To be completely honest, there is a chance that this heavier storm right now, which was looking to be the main event of the evening, there's a chance that this passes us in Bryan and College Station just to the south and west, but I'm not ready to say that just yet. This is kind of a long play here because there's activity behind it too. That could give us some rain and rumbles, but again, my biggest concern right now is getting folks covered there in southern Lee County with that really strong wind potential. And I'm just realizing I forgot my tablet that has got the National Weather Service chat on there. So I'm going to go grab that very, very quickly, and I will be right back, y'all. Okay. So the good news is I'm not seeing a whole lot in terms of confirmed wind gusts over Lee County, though that is still going to be my main concern here. Over the next half hour. So again, what we're seeing with this is very clearly a downdraft dominant storm, where what we're seeing now is the storm just kind of pushing itself out. We got a lot of rain falling, probably a little bit of wind blown hail with that too, And the biggest wind that we're seeing is like right over that 77 and 290 intersection. And now it's starting to kind of bulge out a little bit more as it moves south of the area. So LaGrange, Round Top, you guys are up next for that. But I would not rule out a severe wind gust eventually for Burleson and Washington County as well. What we're also kind of noting here is a more eastward jaunt of this cluster of thunderstorms, which we knew was going to happen at some point, getting caught up by the upper level winds. And so that is where we would maybe bring that for the rest of Burleson County, for Washington County and Brazos County into play as well. But that is a bigger if right now. And I know that it kind of stinks to sit here and tell y'all that, you know, the next couple hours, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we are going to watch this over the next couple hours. And like we have said, it's, you know, west of the Highway 6 corridor where we've got the biggest potential here for some severe wind gusts. We knew that that was going to be the biggest threat going into tonight. And so that's my biggest concern here still. And again, we could be looking at some 45, 50 mile per hour wind gusts as far north as about Caldwell here within the next 15 minutes. Somebody was asking about gauze a little bit earlier. It's going to be gusty for y'all, and I think y'all have still got some rain left to get tonight. But I think the severe stuff is largely going to stay to y'all south. Wixon Valley, not hugely concerned about thunderstorms for y'all tonight. I think most of the activity most of the stronger activity is probably going to stay to y'all's south and west. And that's about the cutoff. I think from BCS south and west is where I have the biggest wind concern headed into tonight. I mean, that is just big wind. Very strong wind moving through Giddings, Lincoln, still even over into Lexington as well. And it looks like it is starting to kind of turn a little bit less to the south and kind of more jaunting eastward. And so that is absolutely something that we'll need to watch for the rest of Burleson County, and then, you know, maybe eventually BCS after that. And we're starting to see the radar fill in eastward over Robertson County as well. But yeah. David, there's a chance for some hail with this. I haven't seen a lot of hail reports. The bigger thing with this is wind. So I mean, if you're talking hail, it's probably going to be like dime to nickel size hail. This is a wind concern more than it is hail. This is technically warned for quarter size hail potential, but wind is my biggest concern here. Tomorrow looks pretty quiet for BCS. Tomorrow's probably the quietest day of the week. Once we get past all this mess. Leon County, I think y'all are going to stay pretty quiet tonight. Mumford, if y'all see any of this activity, it would probably be another at least 30 to 45 minutes or so. This is not moving very fast, but y'all could still see some strong winds. I think the most severe winds will stay to y'all south. I don't have a huge concern for Mumford right now. Let me put this back in motion over the last 30 minutes. I'm going to try to also troubleshoot how we want to play this over the next hour or two, because may have to hop on air again, especially if we see another warning get issued a little bit closer to in the area, and how we punch that in and all that good stuff. Katie, where are we? Are we just in the late show right now? Is that what we're doing? Okay. What I may want to do, let's see, route util 81, web browser. Hold on. Goodness. FB live stream, that's all set up. Everything is good there. I'm just looking at the PCR 1 to Util 81, and I'm trying to find that button right now. And again, we're on 3 different streams right now. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're at kbtx.com/livestream. But I do think once we get that next warning issued that includes more of Burleson County, we'll probably need to hop on air here for just a little bit. 60 mile per hour wind gusts, quarter size hail. Again, that's the main concern there. Reba, if there's anything for the Carlos area, it's not going to be until after midnight. I think a lot of these storms will probably pass y'all to the south and west, so I don't have any huge concern for Carlos tonight. Severe thunderstorm watch, not in effect for y'all. WX1 to Util 85, live eye to a router input left, router input center. None of those things are what I want. Okay. Katie, this is probably something that I should have looked at earlier. But we did have a button, right? Didn't we have a button that said PCR 1 to Util 80? Am I crazy? Didn't we have a button that could punch us right out to PCR 1 from in here? Am I crazy? PCR 1 on LS2. I could hit that, but I'm afraid to. I don't think I'm going to. Wait, PCR 1 on LS2, live stream 2. Okay, that's not exactly what we want. Router 1, Util 81. That might be what I want. Okay, I need to quit focusing on this. All right. Cool. We're going to stay on the stream just for now. And if we get that severe thunderstorm warning issued for Brazos County, we'll have to kind of pivot and just do this over. Southwest Washington County, concern here for wind. And again, I can put a storm track on there for you in just a little bit. You may see the strongest wind just stay to your south. But what we're looking at now is this segment starting to bow out. And it's moving southeast at about 30. So yeah, southwestern Washington County, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, it's the strong wind potential that we're looking at here. My biggest strong wind potential is now kind of moving out of Lee County and into Fayette County. But we could see this swing back around for you folks in Washington County. So this is absolutely something that we're going to watch here as it moves to the east. So let's put it about kind of like that. And put it's moving 35, 40 miles per hour to the south and east. And here's a storm track and location times for when some of those severe wind gusts could arrive for you. Again, this is just a rough estimate. Huntsville, y'all are probably going to stay pretty quiet through the overnight, especially in terms of severe weather. Y'all might get some rumbles post midnight, but not really looking at anything concerning for you. McDade, the worst has passed y'all. So y'all should continue to quiet down. Grimes County, not worried about y'all. Again, here's the severe thunderstorm watch. And I'll show you along with the warnings here that we're looking at. If you're Grimes, Madison, Leon, Waller, Walker, etc., I'm not really worried about y'all for at least the next couple hours. We could see this watch extended, but I think eventually this line of storm is going to lose some steam. And a lot of y'all in those grayer counties, you might not even see a lot of rain for the rest of the night. Lori, this is the second round, so it's now. I mean, we could get there's some stuff out west that conceivably could come our way, but it looks pointed way too far south. So again, I think this is the main event for tonight. Grimes after midnight. 1, 2 o'clock, if anything, but I don't expect Grimes County to see much here. Lots of lightning with this. Obviously, it's a very electric storm. Katie, I gotta figure out how to punch us up on air, because I'm probably gonna have to hop on air here in a little bit. But I don't want to abandon the stream because there's a lot of people in here. So I got the router one that I know how to turn on for audio, and I'm trying to remember what would be the easiest way for us to get, okay, PCR1 on LS2, that's not right. It's got to be PCR1. PCR1 to util 81. That's got to be the one. That's got to be the ticket. Let's do an experiment here real quick, Katie. Can you put Max 1 in PCR 1 real quick? Okay, let me know when you do that. Okay, I think that did it. So there's PCR 1. And then let's go Max 1. There it is. Okay, and then Max 2. Perfect. Okay, so that's how we do it. Excellent. Okay, so Katie, I think what we're going to, towards OSR, no. I think what we're going to do here, Katie, since I know how to do that now, it's still going to have that camera 1 with the microphone there, but that's better than nothing. So what I'm about to do, I'm going to punch over PCR 1 to 81. All right, and then I'm also going to turn router 1 audio on. And I think that's going to make it to where, because especially if my mic is in now, I think folks should be able to hear me. And it looks like that audio is going through. So I think router 1 should still be working there. And I can look at the Facebook comments and just make sure. What I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to get my laptop set up on that dolly. And then I think we're just going to do wall-to-wall for a little bit on air, just so we can have all these streams up. Because, I mean, this is really, really big wind. Okay, we'll just do that. I'll hop right here, grab my laptop real quick. And again, 15, 20 minutes to start, and then we can kind of reassess. And again, those of you on the stream, I believe you can still hear me. Let me know if you can't. I'm going to take this AirPod out too. But I can hear myself on there, and I can see my levels still working, so I'm pretty sure I've got the audio on the stream. In fact, if Christina's not doing anything, do you mind if she hops on Facebook and sees if she can hear me right this second on the Facebook stream? I'm pretty sure she'll be able to. Okay. All right, pulling up Splash Top. Okay. All right, look at Austin, San Antonio, Williamson County. Okay. I am ready to hop on air as soon as you are, Katie. Cool. Excellent. Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep, I am ready.
This is a KBTX News severe weather update from the First Alert Weather Center.
Hey, good evening, Brazos Valley. Wanted to break into regular programming and show you this cluster of thunderstorms that is especially moving through southern Lee County, but now starting to shift a little bit more to the east that could impact folks in Burleson County and then potentially BCS after that. So we are on air right now, but we are also streaming on kbtx.com, on YouTube, and on Facebook. But we'll stay on air here for a little while because of these new warnings that we have issued. And we're mainly talking about are southwestern counties, and this gets a little bit busy here as you're looking at it. But my main concern here is for folks in a line along and west of the Highway 36 corridor. So here are all the warnings stacked up against each other. And again, the main concern here is for gusty winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, but especially on the southern edge of this, I've got the concern for wind gusts in excess of 75. So what I'm going to do here is throw out the velocity signature for you and show you where that really strong wind is as compared to what could be just some either just sub-severe or right at the severe line of gusts, about 50 to 60 miles per hour. That's rolling through Caldwell right now. And again, this is pushing to the east. But my biggest concern is for this area down here. Giddings, folks, even stretching back up towards Page, Lexington as well. You could still be looking at some very strong winds to go along with that. That is pushing off to the south and to the east. Some gusts in excess of 75 miles per hour are a possibility. So I've got velocity there. I'm going to zoom out here, and then I'm going to put a storm track on that as this has kind of picked up forward speed. It's moving south and east at about 40 miles per hour. And again, this is going to give you a rough estimate of when this activity is going to arrive. So again, this is mainly a concern along and west of Highway 36. We'll watch this to see if we get any potential impacts for BCS. It's really loud out there in BCS right now, but the stronger winds at this moment are to our west and will kind of continue to move to the south and to the east. So Caldwell really already there, but especially the eastern side by about 11:15, Friendstadt 11:20, Western Washington County, folks, Burton about 11:20, Brenham 11:40, assuming this continues to hold together, and then down towards Austin County, you're talking even closer to the I-10 corridor, Columbus, and then back towards Belleville. That is closer to about midnight. And speaking of those areas, that is where I have the biggest concern for destructive wind gusts, because again, we're talking kind of two different levels of severe thunderstorm warning here, where the biggest concern right now is going to be to the south and to the east of Giddings. So kind of right in between Giddings and LaGrange. So now moving into Fayette County, we're seeing that bigger, strong wind threat. But right along the leading edge of this, what we're looking at is the velocity signature on the radar, on that Fort Hood radar. So you're seeing wind moving away from the radar and then feeding back into it. And so there's the gust front that goes along with that. So at the very least, you're talking 40 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts right along Highway 36 there in Burleson County. But my biggest concern is for wind in this area, moving through the Giddings area. I know there's a couple of folks on Facebook that were talking about the potential for some power outages in that area, and we're wanting to know how things were. Again, it's still windy there, and so some additional damage is certainly a possibility, but that is the area I'm most concerned about. And just very quickly looking at some Facebook comments from y'all, a lot of folks in Burleson County talking about how strong that wind is in Caldwell. Katie, do you have the ability, because there's the campus live iCam, I can do it on Splash Top if I need to go to, here, let me see if I'll just log in on LiveEye and see if we can get that Burleson County Courthouse live view. Okay, Andrew on Facebook saying in between there, Giddings and LaGrange, Warda, yeah. Okay, so got the Burleson County live iCam that should be coming up here momentarily instead of that association live eye that we put up. And again, pardon me, I'm producing on the fly here. So there's Burleson County Courthouse. Again, the live eye camera shaking around a little bit. Unfortunately, because that Caldwell measuring site is still not working, we do not have current and live wind gusts for y'all. That's not an us thing. Apparently that's not even a National Weather Service thing. I think that's something there at Caldwell Municipal that is an issue. But this is what it looks like in downtown Caldwell right now. Obviously windy enough to be moving around that live eye camera on the Burleson County Courthouse. Got some folks on Facebook kind of estimating about 40 to 50 miles per hour in Caldwell. Absolutely believe that. This is starting to kind of move more to the east here, and so I do think that we're going to get at least clipped by this here in BCS. So that is something that we're going to watch. Let me see what the newest warning is still formatted for. BCS not included in that warning. We are also, again, we're streaming on the .com on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you're on those sites, you've also got kind of my camera view of where I'm usually in the digital studio, but this is what we're kind of working with right now. What do we have after the 11 o'clock hour here? What am I breaking into right now, Katie? Okay. As far as I'm concerned, I think we stay on air for a little while. So the reason we broke onto air was specifically for that Lee County portion of the storm, which really does not want to quit. And again, it is moving eastward. So I want my Western Washington County folks to know that the potential for some winds well in excess of 60 miles per hour is kind of knocking on that Washington County doorstep. Because again, that's the newest radar sweep there. Where it does look a little bit more diffuse, maybe not quite as organized of a downdraft where it's just pushing out very, very dense air and bringing strong straight line winds, it still looks like it's very strong winds, and that gust front is going to get closer to that Washington County line here within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, thank you. All right, yeah, so there's the Caldwell live eye view. Thank you for that, Katie. Right now what I'm doing is just where we are, unfortunately, is you've got National Weather Service Austin and San Antonio, National Weather Service office in Houston, and so I think they're trying to get their ducks in a row as far as severe thunderstorm warnings and just kind of trying to format stuff. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of actual observation data in that area, so it's kind of difficult to get exactly what we're seeing in those areas. Not to mention it is dark outside. So we do have a couple of folks kind of policing the comments there on Facebook. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, no active tornado warnings, but what is the upper bounds of some of this strong wind potential is a weak tornado. And again, that's my biggest concern is moving through Fayette County, but the biggest reason I'm staying on air here is because it's getting to be the middle of the night and there's big wind rolling through Burleson County right now. It's starting to get rumbly here in BCS, areas like that. But the main reason here is for this sector of the storm that is just about to the Washington County line. So this is not going to be perfect. What I'm going to do here is throw a storm track on there, because again, the densest part of that downdraft is still moving south and a little bit to the east, but this line has now started to just kind of propagate more eastward. So if we are looking at those winds in excess of 70 miles per hour, this is a rough timeline for when those are going to arrive. So again, it's moving through Fayette County right now. So that Fayette and Austin County line, or about Fayetteville, that's within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Western, even northern Washington County, Gay Hill folks here by the bottom of the hour, so within the next 15 to 20. Assuming this holds together here, Brenham by about 11:40, so probably before midnight. This is arriving right there in the middle of Washington County. Down in northern Austin County, that says Nelsonville there about 11:45, so within the next 30 minutes or so. And again, that's just that strongest sector of the storm. But what I will also do is I'll zoom out and kind of show you a bigger picture. Somebody on Facebook asking about the hail picture. We haven't talked about that a lot, mainly because with this cluster of storms, we have not seen a whole lot of confirmed hail in the past at least hour. But what we could be looking at is the potential here for some wind-blown hail, and even if that is small hail, that upgrades the damage potential, especially for car windows and dents and things like that. So if we're seeing any hail, it's right at about that Lee and Washington County line, and generally moving to the south and to the east still. So if you live on the west side of Lake Somerville, or really anywhere from Somerville back onto the other side in Burleson County, yeah, there's a hail potential here, but I think for the most part, we're still talking about dime to nickel size with that. My biggest concern here is for wind, and the way that this has started to finally now push more to the east and less to the south. We're probably
Katie, we're probably in this on air cut in, maybe not for the long haul, but for the medium haul. Especially the way that we're starting to see that bow out now. It looks like the gust front is at least going to make it to the Brazos River. So again, this is a really good picture of what we're seeing kind of in the upper levels as you can see that storm just kind of pushing itself out. And we still have the Burleson live eye because that just got really windy, really wet, and really electric. So again, that's what you're seeing right now is that gust front moving through downtown Caldwell proper. Right now, that velocity signature looks a little bit better, but it would not shock me at all if we're still looking at some 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. That is right along the Highway 36 corridor. We can zoom in on that here in just a little bit, but still some very strong wind. My biggest concern there is moving through Fayette County. Somebody on Facebook asking if this is the worst that Caldwell is going to see tonight. Very likely, yes. Anything that we see in the overnight beyond this is going to run into what is now some very stable air. So this is very likely the main event of the evening. While we're up here, I do want to show you that severe thunderstorm watch that some of you have already been trimmed out of. Milam, Robertson, Leon County. So, I mean, this is the bulk of the area that we're watching right here. And there's a real decent chance that a lot of Brazos County doesn't even get, especially the winds with this, but we are going to keep watching that. Yeah, a little bit of rain could linger through the overnight. It's not going to be much, though. This is by far going to be the heaviest that we see. Generally, the farther south and west you go, the bigger impact this is going to be for you. This is with all the lightning. I'm going to turn that off for just a second and kind of show you where the axis of the heavier rain is. We were talking about the potential for a little bit of flooding, and another thing that I want to point you to, very similar to what we were looking at, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that, is this cluster of thunderstorms that we're looking at is starting to rotate in and of itself. That doesn't mean we're talking a tornado threat here, but what we're seeing is almost a little mini low pressure system that looks to be materializing. You can see that little bit of counterclockwise rotation there over the Lee and Burleson County line. And so what we're looking at with that is where this storm is mainly moving to the south and east. This is starting to rotate a little bit and now push off to the east and maybe a little bit to the north as well. So I don't think that BCS is out of the woods as far as, yes, a marginal severe threat, but at the very least some noisy storms rolling through. Let's see if we got that new downstream warning. Okay, so there's the reformatted warning that includes southern Burleson, Washington, all the way down to Fayette. Let me see if I can get the actual info there. Yeah, still 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail is the biggest with that. Location specifically mentioned, Brenham, Shelby, Somerville, Burton, Lake Somerville Dam, State Park, Carmine, Lyons, and Quarry. All the areas that we're looking at there. Again, LaGrange, I think, is where we're going to see the biggest wind with that. But I know not a lot of Fayette County viewers here. But no active warnings for us here in BCS. But again, what we're starting to see now is really, if you're in Caldwell, Chrisman, though it's still raining very hard, there's still a lot of lightning, things like that. The strongest part of that storm is now over and done with. It's really, when we talk about these straight line wind potentials, the biggest threat with that is right as that storm gets there. Generally, once you get the wind, it's that initial burst of the strong wind that is the most dangerous, and then things slowly start to calm down after that. So another thing that I'm seeing here still looks like some pretty enhanced wind over Lee County and then down into Fayette County. But generally, it's not that bright color where you're looking at like this almost peach color a little bit earlier. That is the radar trying to resolve 75, 80 mile per hour winds. That does look to have come down a pretty good deal. We're going to stay on air though, because this is still rolling through Burleson County. That gust front's almost to Cook's Point. It's the Brazos River after that, and at least a little bit on the west side, especially of BCS, is probably going to be affected with this gust front. Now it's even moving back up. What you're seeing from about Milano to Gauze, Mumford as well. So again, that's pushing eastward. There's no active warning there, but there is now, let's see, is that a special weather statement? It looks like it. So yeah, special weather statement for the potential for penny to nickel size hail and gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Somebody on Facebook asking about Round Top. That's where my biggest concern for strong wind is, but if you've already seen that big rush of wind, you've probably already seen the strongest of the storm. Strongest part of the storm is moving through Round Top right now. So again, northeastern Fayette County is where I think we could be looking at the strongest winds. That is also getting a good bit farther away from the Fort Hood measuring site. So those wind estimates are not quite as accurate as they were when they were back up in Lee and Milam County, a lot closer to that Fort Hood measuring site. But that is definitely something still worth watching. Somebody's asking about the Fayetteville, Texas measuring site. I'm going to see if I can get that info for you. But that would give us a really good indicator of how strong that wind is there, and if we can actually verify that we're seeing gusts like that. It looks like the latest gust there was about 40 miles per hour. That was just around 11:15, I believe. So that would be great. That's still sub-severe. Obviously, that's still very windy, but that would also mean that this is starting to weaken a little bit. All right, so I've still got this in motion here for you. And again, a lot of this heavier rain is still working its way into Burleson and now like on the western side of Washington County. So I'm going to take this off of the loop here, and we'll get another refresher of where the warnings are, and we'll do a storm track here for you. Okay, so they've reformatted that here. Again, behind this, things should quiet down for you pretty quickly, but still included in this warning is southern Burleson County, including Lyons, and kind of on the southeast side of Friendstat, not quite to Snook just yet. But again, this is the area that they're most concerned about. And again, you see a couple of pink parts on the radar there. That is where we could be looking at some brief hail cores here, and maybe some wind-blown hail at that. So again, that could enhance that damage potential of what is relatively small hail. But it's this area, so it's from Brenham stretching back up to Gay Hill, not quite to Independence, but going up 105 towards Navasota, and then that southern Burleson County area. This also includes Somerville. Just got a text from Shell Winkley talking about what we call a meso-low forming, and yeah, you can see that pretty clearly as you're looking at the radar in motion. And what that means is we could see some enhanced gusts with that. Again, yes, there's rotation, but rotation in a very broad sense, so we're not talking an enhanced tornado threat here. But what we are now starting to see is this storm, where it was moving mainly to the south and east, is starting to peel back to the east and a little bit to the north now. This is very similar to what we saw last Sunday. Yeah, that would be great if you have that, Katie. That would be awesome. Okay. Is this the same one we were looking at this past Sunday? I think it is. Yeah, 290 and 36, where we caught this right as it was, as that gust front was pushing into town. That was a much different storm than what's rolling through right now, but we'll keep an eye on this one over the next 10 minutes, and I bet we'll see things get a good bit more active there. It looks like it's not super windy there at 290 and 36 in Brenham just yet, but I bet we'll see the wind pick up pretty soon. We saw that thing right as that gust front rolled through last week. So yeah, with that meso-low, and again, what that does is it kind of changes the storm motion here. What we're actually witnessing is finally this cluster of thunderstorms not really steering itself anymore, and now it's starting to get picked up by the upper level winds. There's southwest and northeast. We've been talking about southwest flow, the subtropical jet stream. All that stuff is just the general flow of the atmosphere once you get to a certain point in the mid to upper levels. And now we're finally starting to see the storm motion fall in line with that. And this thunderstorm has generated its own momentum in a way that it's actually kind of made its weak little low pressure system. And that's why you see that kind of comma shape now starting to form there over Caldwell. So what we could find with this is some enhanced wind gusts kind of in between Caldwell and BCS. There's no active warning there for BCS still, and I believe not even including Caldwell. I think they just opted, Weather Service did, to call it a special weather statement, which again is just like a, hey, we're watching this storm, but it's not severe. And right now, I don't expect that to be upgraded, but we are going to watch it. And I know there's a lot of folks in the Facebook comments, and again, I apologize. We are on YouTube as well right now. I've only got so many screens. I don't have y'all's comments pulled up right this second. But this is the area that we're watching. It's going to keep pushing off to the east, and so we're probably going to be on this stream for a hot minute. And so if I feel like we need to talk about you, we absolutely will. I got some viewer reports of things starting to settle down, especially in the western side of Burleson County. There's still a lot of lightning, still very noisy, but the wind absolutely should start to calm down for y'all. No storm reports that I'm aware of. And again, if y'all have anything to report, if you lose power, please let me know. That could be lightning or wind related, just the way that this is going. I'm going to take this out of motion here, and we're gonna poke around in this and see what kind of wind we can find. Yeah, there's that Burleson County live eye view, and it still looks a little windy there, but not terrible. So now we're on the east side of Caldwell, headed back eastbound towards Brazos County. That looks a lot better. Even down on the southeastern side of that storm, the reason that we hopped on air for a second, that looks a lot better too. So I know we had a couple of Round Top folks asking about you. It looks like the radar is mainly sampling sub-severe wind gusts. So we'll see what happens when we get to that expiration of the severe thunderstorm warning. If they opt to just kind of give it a general special weather statement, that would not surprise me. Let me zoom out here and kind of show you the full picture. There was a big old cluster of thunderstorms rolled through the Houston area, Austin, San Antonio. And again, now what we see as this system is starting to more just kind of hike off to the east than it is to the south and to the east. There's more forming down towards Belleville on the west side of Brenham as well. And then back up into Milam County, where it's not, that severe thunderstorm watch was allowed to expire for y'all, but the worst has already passed, but again, still some heavy rain moving through there. So right now, it's got Cook's Point. You're getting that gust front, and it's just about to the Brazos River. On the west side of Bryan, if you live out by the lake or in the Brazos River bottom, closer to Rellis, things like that, y'all are going to get in on that wind first here within the next, I would say, 10 to 15 minutes. Brenham as well. So what I think we're going to do here, Katie, Belleville, next 20 to 30 minutes is when the wind should be picking up for y'all, if not a little bit after that. Katie, what I would like to do, we've still got that severe thunderstorm warning. It says for the next 17 minutes. And what we may do is just stay on air for that unless they cancel it early. And then after that, assuming no new warnings are issued, we'll probably hop off air, but continue on the stream. We're not going anywhere tonight. We're gonna stay on that stream. I did want to get you an update. They added Austin and Waller County to that severe thunderstorm watch. Obviously, Fayette County was already in it. This says hail up to golf ball size. I would be very surprised if we see that at this point. Wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour. At this point, I'm getting a little bit not believing in that either. But we need to watch and see if these storms pulse back up as they move into a couple areas that have not seen rain just yet. Still a lot of lightning with this. It's getting noisier and noisier here by the minute in BCS. Who's coming up next with this? Let me show you. I'm going to take this out of motion, and I'm going to specifically find that gust front there for you. And we're still rolling that at about 30 miles per hour, 35 to the south and east. So let's put a storm track. Let's draw it about like this and move it kind of like that. Again, you're on the northeast side of Bryan. I still think you're going to get some rain with this, but it's kind of like BCS, like University in Texas, and points off to the south and west, who's going to get some of the strongest wind with this and the most rain with it too. This is College Station. That ping is right there about over campus, 11:45. So here within the next 15 minutes. South side of Brazos County closer to midnight. Back down towards Hempstead, some stronger winds there. A little bit after midnight as well. Navasota about 12:10. Anderson, if we're talking other portions of Grimes County, especially along and south of Highway 30, that's at about 12:20. Brookshire down towards the Katy area and Greater Houston at about 12:30 after that. So again, this has picked up some forward speed pretty good over the past hour. And that's a little bit too muddled. We're looking at the League City. There we go. Okay. Again, I like what I'm seeing as far as radar signatures and what we could be looking at with wind. 32. I bet it's a little bit stronger than 32. There's still a couple of enhanced wind gusts that it's trying to pick up on. There in between LaGrange and Brenham. Can we go back to that text talk cam? See what we're looking at, see how things have changed? Okay, so it still looks relatively calm there. That is... We're going to keep an eye on that because that's at 36 and 290. So, I mean, we're close. We are very, very close. Yeah, and you can kind of see that just off to the west. Okay. I'm going to ask you to come back to that, Katie, in like 5 minutes. Okay, so that's on the, what do you call that? The northwest side of Brenham. That's about right here, the 36 and 290. So again, that gust front is almost there. We could probably just camp out there for a second and wait for things to change there pretty quickly. I think that is behind a little bit as far as the wind. Okay, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning. That includes the rest of Washington County, the rest of Austin County, and a good portion of Waller County as well. And that's for the same thing that we've been talking about. There's nothing really new there. They're still mentioning the potential of up to quarter-size hail. My Burton folks, I want to hear from you. If we're looking at hail right now, that is where it is. And again, this is not a fantastic situation where wind-blown hail is a possibility here too. So even some smaller hail could cause damage if we're looking at wind-blown. And I'm going to get back in the stream. There we go. Off 908 and Caldwell Highway 21 still raining, and yeah, lots of lightning and probably still some good winds there in Caldwell. Got another report of some roads flooding in Caldwell city limits. Things calming down for LaGrange, yes. Things should be calming down for y'all pretty quickly. So again, that's the new severe thunderstorm warning. I'm gonna get that up for you. It's gonna be kind of a busy graphic because I just haven't had time to edit this here. But this is the new spot. I'll remove the radar data for you here for a second as well, and just kind of show you this big old polygon that we have. So that includes the rest of Washington County that wasn't already, with the exception of y'all in like Washington, Chapel Hill, Hempstead, Belleville. Again, the big potential for wind gusts to 60. Where was that lightning strike that I just saw? Was that Burleson? I think it was. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that was Burleson County because I mean it is still lightning. At this point, if we see a sporadic power outage or two in Caldwell, that would not shock me. I mean, really anywhere from about 79 stretching all the way back down into Austin County. We'll just see if I can get the lightning counter strike here in just a second because, I mean, we're talking thousands of lightning strikes over the past hour. James says the winds calmed down pretty good in Caldwell. Good to hear that. Somebody wanted to know how bad the wind's going to be in South College Station. I still think that the stronger wind is going to stay to the south of College Station. Weather Service tends to agree with that, just where that is headed. But I I'm not going to rule out some gusts up to about 50 miles per hour in BCS as this pushes in. Especially because, again, we're seeing a little bit of what we call a meso low, which can bring some strong winds from above the surface and bring them down a little bit closer here. So really curious to see what we find here as this moves over the Brazos and into Brazos County. But no active warning for Brazos County as of right this second. Again, there's where the warnings are. That's the biggest concern here for that stronger wind, including Brenham and then back down into Belleville. Not included in this warning is eastern Burleson and Brazos, but we are still watching this very closely. All right. So I'm going to back up and I'm going to just kind of show you general view here while we're still sitting here. And what I think we're going to do once that OG severe thunderstorm warning expires, Katie, we'll let this get a little bit into Brazos County. We'll stay on air for just a little bit longer. It's 11:30. What do we have? What are we breaking into now at this point? Okay, still in the late show. What happens at midnight? Is that the replay of the 10 o'clock? Is it midnight? Okay, gotcha. So here's the big picture view. Again, this big cluster of thunderstorms that's from Del Rio all the way to about Lafayette, Louisiana. And what it was looking like for a second is that a lot of the Brazos Valley is going to miss out on this. But since we have this, what we call little mesolow developing, we were able to see this kind of curve back up to the north and east. So if you're a praying type and you're praying against the Aggie Dome, you may have seen those prayers answered. Somebody asking about Conroe. Yes, y'all will get this in some form. I don't think it's going to be severe by the time it rolls y'all's way. But we'll be watching that for you too. And it's just within the city limits of Brenham there. It's starting to get back into the Snook area too. Y'all saw some heavy rain a little bit earlier. That was crazy lightning. Let's, real quick, Katie, let's look at Caldwell. And then from Caldwell, let's go back to Brenham. If that's too much. Okay, so there's Caldwell again. And really, it's calmed down a great deal. It's not even raining quite as hard, but it is still very electric. If we were to just sit there for a little while, we would see a lot of lightning. So, yeah, I mean, shoo. Okay, so there's... excuse me. Yeah, that's still Caldwell, Burleson County Courthouse. I believe this is looking to the east, but it's going to look the same no matter where you're looking right now. But now if we could, Katie, could we take that and go full on 36 and 290? Okay. Y'all are still holding strong there at 36 and 290. I would have thought by this point it would be a little bit more fierce down that way, but that's good. Again, that means that the velocity signatures that we were looking at are continuing to look a little bit more pedestrian, not quite as crazy. So what we're also looking at right now, again, this is down in Brenham. This is at 36 and 290. I want to check in on this again in the next 5. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Lots of lightning, very, very heavy rain, and still the outside potential here that we see some severe wind gusts. But like we told you, again, that's mainly kind of pointed Washington County down into Austin County and then eventually Waller County after that. You see a little bit of lightning ahead of the storm as well. I bet here within the next 5 to 10, we'll see that gust front roll through BCS. It is pretty much at the Brazos River now. Again, no active warning for Brazos County. And if things keep behaving the way that they are, I don't think that we will see one issued. Let's see what we've got in Burleson County. They're 25, 30, 35. Right over Brenham. Yeah, about 25 to 30. Okay, I mean, we will take that. Absolutely. It would not shock me if it's gusting a little bit higher than that, but that's a good sign. Somebody on Facebook says, too much lightning. I could not agree more. Andrew, I appreciate that. Saying the peak gusts about 20s as of the past about 5 minutes or so. Okay. Oh, yes. Let's do that. Absolutely. Let's take a look at that. Okay. This is Briar Crescent 6. Oh, yeah. Okay. You can see the shelf cloud as it is pushing in. That is beautiful. Good eye, Katie. Wow, 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 wow. That's amazing. Okay, so that's, I mean, what you're looking at is the shelf cloud of the storm. By the way, this is a great indicator, even though it looks a little bit hairy. As we get that illuminated, you can see what we call scud, and that is just inflow going back into the storm. That's moisture feeding into it. So where it looks a little bit scary, that is actually nothing to worry about. That's actually an indicator that we're still looking at a mainly straight line type of wind to go along with that. But that is very impressive little shelf cloud too. Again, no active severe thunderstorm warning, but you can see where the dividing line between that really humid air here at the surface and some of that cooler and eventually drier air that's going to get pushed downward with that thunderstorm that's pushing through. Let's give it a couple more lightning strikes, then we can get back to radar. This is a time I really wish we had our Stella Hotel live iCam still. Because I think the next closest westward one would probably be downtown Bryan. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and pull radar back up. Here's the lightning counter. Yeah, 2,300, almost bumping up to 2,500 just in the past 35 minutes. 30 minutes. Just added a 5. Velocity still looking fine. Here are some of those enhanced areas of wind right at the Fayette and Austin County line, still pinging about 58 to 60. I think that's why they issued that warning down y'all's way and not for us in BCS. Yeah, Pam, you're right in the thick of it there. You're in between Burton and Brenham. Yeah, that's a lot of lightning for y'all. Wind starting to pick up in Columbus. Somebody asked about Plantersville. It's going to be a while before it reaches y'all, and right now that most of that is sub-severe. The severe warned part of the storm is probably going to pass y'all to the south and to the west. So rain is, we're starting to see a little bit build back, and what we're actually looking at on that live iCam was again some inflow into the storm, and what we're actually picking up now on the radar is that inflow. So some showers now starting to precipitate out of that. In fact, I'm going to switch over to our campus live eye or first alert radar, and this should give us, okay, perfect. Okay, yes. Oh, that's another great shot too. We'll take that full in just a second. Okay, this is going to be perfect here. This is why having this radar on campus is so huge for storms like this, because we have a much better idea of what the winds are doing as they roll into town. And that is awesome confirmation that that severe thunderstorm warnings probably not necessary with this. But what we could very well see, I mean, you're seeing some samplings here about 35, 40 miles per hour. So kind of similar to what we saw with that gust front that rolled through a little bit earlier this evening, except this time it's coming from the opposite direction. Oh, wow. That is beautiful. And again, I'm just kind of geeking out over this right now because most of this is not severe. And we'll get a look at that part of the storm that we're still watching there in Washington County in just a little bit. But I want to show this as it moves into town. Again, just a really, really good representation of what we're looking at thanks to this on-campus radar. We're seeing really low into the storms. And thankfully, it looks like gusts are peaking at about 38. So I'm just going to relay that to the National Weather Service folks. Expand on campus is about 40 miles per hour right on the Brazos. Okay. All right, so let's zoom out and see what else we see with that first alert radar. And then we'll do one more sample of the wind. In fact, this is actually, this radar's doing a really good job actually picking up on the storms moving through Washington County as well. And it's not picking up anything super threatening on wind. So again, that's good news. Let's go back, and we're going to do that. We're going to sample this one more time just because this also, this not only higher res, but it updates every 2 minutes. So we've already got some new data. So it looks like that wind, the gust front, is at about Easterwood. So we'll start getting some Easterwood data here in just a little bit, sampling about 30 to 35. So that looks good. What about, let's go check in on our friends in Brenham again, Katie, if you can. 36 and 290. Yeah, you can see the shelf cloud really well there on campus too. Okay, so we're starting to get some wind-blown rain. It does not look nearly as crazy as it did a week and a half ago. But it does look like the gust front is there. So again, if that's the strongest wind that we see there on the west side of Brenham, then we should be in pretty good shape. Okay, so that's good. Can you take association full again? Yeah, rain's getting heavier there too. No problem. Yeah, and anything that y'all are seeing, you just let me know too. 55 mile per hour gust. Oh, that's Hondo. Okay, so that's not super relevant to us right now. Northwest Washington County, still looking at some very strong winds. I would be pretty surprised if we see hail in Grimes County, as one Facebook viewer wants to know. We can look at hail vision and see what else we're looking at here. Yeah. I think what we're actively seeing now is the storm is potentially cycling back up in terms of, yes, okay, there it is. Okay, that's what we need to focus on here now. So there's the Fort Hood measuring site, but as we get farther away, we're gonna sample back now to the League City one, and we're really gonna start to see a better picture of the wind potential in Washington and Austin County. I know there were a couple of you asking specifically about Austin County, and now here we get into Belleville. So this is the main concern. This is why the severe thunderstorm warning was extended to include y'all. Let me roll that back up and see what else I can poke around in here. Hold on. Get the velocity scan back up from League City. And again, this is still pretty far away from that radar site. Okay, there we go. There's a new. So still sampling anywhere from 45 to 50 miles per hour. 28's not right. That's not correct. There we go. About 45 to 50. Potentially there on the leading edge of that. That's moving through Brenham right now. And it's now pretty close to Belleville too. Oh, okay. Update here. Let me see if I can get that up. Okay, good news. Good news here, y'all. That severe thunderstorm warning that they had in effect for Washington County has been canceled. They reformatted that to now just include the southern side of Austin County. So south side of Belleville, down towards Sealy, Columbus. I know we had some folks asking about that. Columbus, largely, I think you're either looking at the strongest wind right now or the strongest wind's already past you. That is now moving down towards Sealy. So there's the new severe thunderstorm warning. What we are going to do now, while fully recognizing that this storm is actually starting to roll into town now, it is not severe. So what I think we're going to do, Katie, let's just stay on air until we get to midnight, and then I will tell everybody, hey, we're just going to stream probably the rest of the night. Unless we see these storms pulse back up, I don't think we're going to have to just stay on air. But we will for now, especially if you woke up and you immediately turned on the TV. This is what we're looking at. And the only active warning that we have now is down across, Austin County, Colorado County, and then far southwestern Waller as well. Doesn't technically include Belleville, but if you kind of live on the south side there, That's the new concern there, is for some gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour, and it's kind of starting here on the western side of Austin County and moving to the south and to the east. It is still a strong storm for the rest of us. And again, you can see all of the lightning that goes along with that. Over 2,000 strikes over the past 30 minutes. I take that off. Still some very heavy rain that is now moving into Brazos County. And so we'll kind of super zoom on a couple of spots, take you on a little radar tour, and we'll do that here for the next 11 minutes, and we'll probably hop off air, but we'll keep streaming after that. So if you've been watching on the stream, I'll eventually get back on that camera view with the microphone in that empty room. Hearn, next round of heavy rain coming through. You're in between there and Benchley. Still some heavy rain also. Obviously, like we showed you a little bit earlier, lots of lightning with that. And what you're going to see first is that gust of wind. Right now, it looks like about 35 to 40 miles per hour. I want to check on our campus radar here in just a little bit. In fact, let's do that now, because a lot of times right when the rain starts raining on the campus live eye, you get a little bit of what we call attenuation. And that hasn't happened just yet. And so I want us to get the best picture possible. It usually corrects itself pretty quick, but it is just about to campus, just about to us here at the station as well. And let's do one last scan of velocity and see what we're looking at here in town. Right on the west side of the Brazos, about 35 to 40 miles per hour. We can absolutely work with that. That is very similar to what we saw earlier. In fact, that previous gust front may very well be what is allowing these thunderstorms to kind of stabilize as they move in, which again, probably less rain is what it means, what we're getting with that, but there's still plenty of rain to come. It's moving in right now, but that severe threat is down a whole lot. So right now we're focusing the heaviest rain almost in between Highway 36 and Highway 6. No active warnings here. Again, if you're just waking up and you're checking the stream and stuff like that, so that's where we're sitting with that. Okay, we are okay. That's the first Facebook complaint about the on-air stuff. Sorry, it just it happens sometimes. We tried to stay off air as long as we could, and again, I can give you 5 more minutes of the late show, I suppose, here at 11:55, but stuff's rolling through, and it's very. Oh, okay, so we're already done with the late show. So again, sorry about that. Better that than Survivor, I'm just gonna say, because the Survivor fans would be outside the studio doors right now and trying to knock it down if I cut through Survivor. One of those people would be my wife also. So I don't have any plans to cut in through Survivor tomorrow. Is it the finale tomorrow? I think it might be. Yeah, so that is not in the plans right now. Again, I'm sorry that we had to preempt the late show, but I thought it was a good enough reason to do so with this big line of thunderstorms rolling through. I know there's multiple ways that people can receive alerts. I think the days of us hopping on air and preempting CBS programming and stuff like that are probably numbered, but that is still the best way for us to reach as many people as possible. On Facebook, YouTube, on our .com, which you can do in a non-linear way on your smart TV and stuff like that. I'm going to repeat this spiel in a couple minutes here. But folks with an antenna who can only pick up KBTX that way, don't have strong internet connection and stuff like that, I want to get the weather info out to them as well. Was specifically thinking that for Fayette County folks, Washington County, Austin County, etc. So that's why we did that. Again, it's not a perfect system, but I do think that it will continue to get better in terms of everybody getting what they want. I am not. I don't have an agenda with who I cut in for, except I don't want to interrupt Jeff Probst. That would be a nightmare. And let's keep the comments clean too. It's a legitimate complaint. I'm not I'm not upset. I wouldn't want to watch me either. Okay, so there's Briarcrest in 6. Ooh, can we take that full real quick? Because this is going to show the gust front pretty good. And like I said, what you're going to see here, and this illuminates here, might freak you out just a little bit. It looks a lot more threatening than it is. But we're just kind of seeing the light show, kind of peering into the leading edge of that storm. Oh, okay. Well, let's take that next. There we go. Okay, what is this one? This is this 29? Oh, it's 298.36 again. Okay, so now very, very heavy rain. It does not look quite as windy though. Kind of supporting our previous notion that the severe thunderstorm warning being canceled for that part of the storm looks pretty good. Looks like just a good old-fashioned thunderstorm with some good heavy rain. Okay, let's go back radar full. It is 11:55. 5 more minutes of on air. There's my 5-minute warning, and then we're gonna hop just on our streaming platform. So I'm gonna do this spiel twice because I know that there's probably a lot of BCS folks, especially, who are starting to wake up as the rain is now really starting. No severe thunderstorm warnings for us here. The only one that we're talking about in the viewing area is for southern Austin County and far southwestern Waller. So this is eventually going to be more towards Houston folks. I know we've got some folks in the stream in Columbus and Belleville. We've got you guys covered on the stream. KBTX.com/livestream is where we are right this second. We're live there. We are live on Facebook as per usual, and we are also live on YouTube too. I've got the Facebook comments here on my phone on this little tablet right here. And then once we get back in the digital platform, I'll be able to read the YouTube comments as well. This is the only warning that we're looking at, though. And again, very heavy rain, very electric storm that stretches now in a line from Brenham back up to especially now east of Caldwell, moving into BCS, Cooks Point, Snook, and then even some heavy rain kind of back building up towards Mumford, Gause, southeast side of Milano, and then in between Hearn and Benchley as well. So again, all this is non-severe. It's very noisy. We could still find a sporadic power outage here and there, especially thanks to the lightning. I don't think the wind is capable of that at this point. It's about 30 to 35 miles per hour. But this is going to roll through over the course of the rest of the evening. Very low severe risk. We're still technically under severe thunderstorm watch for the next hour. But the way these storms have been behaving, especially as they're now moving into kind of some of that more stable air, courtesy of that gust front that came through a little bit earlier this evening, the severe threat looks pretty low. If we see a new warning issued, we will hop back on air in the midnight hour if need be. But my plan right now is to just kind of continue this on our streaming platform. So if you've got me on the TV, and you have a smart TV, you got an Apple TV, Roku, Fire Stick, whatever it is, and you've got that KBTX app already installed on there, you can just open that up and you will see the exact same picture as what you're looking at right now over the air. It's going to be delayed by just a little bit, but otherwise it's going to be exactly the same. And again, we'll continue streaming there as well. So again, 2-minute warning where we're about to hop off air and get back to the regular CBS programming. I'm going to get a glass of water, and then we're just going to hop back on that stream. All right. Yes, Facebook, that's a good way to wrap up the on-air coverage, actually. Somebody's asking for a storm track. As this is moving almost due east now, we'll call it east-southeast at about 35 miles per hour. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to do a big storm track here and kind of get us through the rest of the overnight for what we can expect. So we'll start that at about Hearn. We'll take this through BCS. We'll go down through Brenham, down through Belleville, and now let's project this out to the east, about like that, and we'll show you some of the locations here. Well, looky there, midnight, BCS. That we can confirm that, can't we? 1220 at Hempstead. Grimes County folks about 12:30, a little bit after that. Magnolia about 12:45. Now, some of these spots in Montgomery County, you've already gotten a lot of rain, so some additional flooding is a possibility closer to about 1 o'clock. Huntsville, About 1:15. Haven't talked about you guys a whole lot this evening, other than some of those storms you saw a little bit earlier. So Huntsville, assuming this holds together, about 1:15. Riverside, northern Walker County at about 1:30. And then kind of on San Jacinto County side, a little bit closer to 2 a.m. So that's what we're looking at here. Another Facebook comment wanting to know about tornadic activity. No, we're not worried about that. The only thing we're still worried about here, lightning caused power outages. Potentially here still some strong winds, especially with the very southern edge of that of this complex, and maybe some small hail still. All those are still in the realm of possibilities. I just think becoming less and less likely now as we move into the overnight and these storms move into areas that have already received rain, and so it's a little bit more stable. So it is now midnight. We're going to take you back over to that regular CBS programming, but again, we're not stopping the stream anytime soon. So one more time, kbtx.com/livestream, or on your KBTX app on any of those smart TV apps that you have now, and you can even pull that up on your phone. And of course, we're also streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. So we're going to stop our on-air portion of this and just keep rolling right on into the stream. So stay with us here at KBTX. We're here to keep you and your family safe.
This has been a KBTX News Severe Weather Update from the First Alert Weather Center, sponsored by American Momentum Bank. For the latest weather anytime, trust KBTX.com and the First Alert app.
Here is that. My microphone's back on, and I'm pretty sure I know how to punch back up the weather graphics. Guy, there's so many buttons in here, y'all. I will find it. PCR 1. KBPGM. I am going to find this button because I saw it earlier, and they were right next to each other. Yeah, if you don't mind, that would be great. That's the quick, that's the short-term fix. Katie, where is that button? I'll find it. Don't come in here. Don't get up. No. They were right next to each other, but the problem is, y'all, there's 20 different rows of these buttons. And so at the very least, I got my mic back on, and technically we still have graphics on there, but it's graphics coming from the wrong place. And so I'm trying to find the specific... Okay, routing util 81. We can do this. TVU to 81, PCR to 82. We're getting closer. North Solch and Normandy, y'all might get a little bit, but I don't think anything severe tonight. I think the heavier stuff's going to stay to y'all southwest. And I apologize for neglecting the YouTube stream. I only had so many screens that I could use there while I was also on air, but I see that it has been plenty active on YouTube as well. Appreciate you guys. Trying to cultivate that YouTube following as well, because we know a lot of people aren't on Facebook. We still love y'all on Facebook too. Somebody wants to know if it's safe to take a shower in this weather. You're probably fine, but I'm not going to tell you to, because there is always a chance. There is always a chance that lightning can strike inside your house, and whenever you turn on the plumbing, that risk increases by a certain percentage. So you're probably fine, but I'm not going to tell you to do that, because I don't want to be blamed for that if something happens, right? Somebody asking about Iola. Stuff's going to roll through within the next hour or so. I think I might have also answered this question just a touch earlier with that big storm track. Another YouTuber says it is now raining in Welburn. And I'm going to look for one more button here. I am going to find it. News routing util 81. Routing util 81. PCR to util 82. I know this button exists. because I pushed it earlier. Hi, Shannon. Okay, router 1, util 81. Where is WX1, WX2?
Keep going.
Okay, keep going. So there's audio. WX1. Keep going. Keep going up.
Keep going. Keep going. No, keep going. Oh,
That's
pause here.
yeah. So it's back down.
Let me do something. Right.
Okay. I know that button's there because I pushed it earlier. I don't see it either. But I mean, it's fine right now because Katie's got the graphics punched up. But this is just going to bother me if not. Okay. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you are on the stream wanting to get some good information. Yeah, it is. It's very heavy. Very, very heavy rain. But fortunately, what we're looking at here, and also unfortunately, the velocity data gets a little bit muddled when you get into parts of Austin and Washington counties. But what we're still looking at, I mean, again, still a potential for like 40 to 45 mile per hour gusts, but I largely haven't seen that. Yes, it is very loud outside. Big storms. That gust front's about to move through Navasota as well. How, though? Okay. Yeah, see, I saw that happen, and that's what I did earlier. I don't know how I did it. Well, I'll look at it tomorrow. But thank you. Oh, that lightning strike was close. Jennifer, generally, as we get this big cluster to roll through, I expect us to quiet down a great deal for the rest of the overnight. This is the only thing. There's like a little bit of activity here behind it, but I'm gonna put this in motion for you. And again, most of that is moving more south than east. You see, that's more Austin. That's more San Antonio's problem. So, like, additional rain and rumbles overnight, absolutely a possibility, but like not a huge concern. Especially just the way that this line rolled through, it was looking pretty rowdy, and then it ran into the stable air. If you were in for the stream a little bit earlier this evening, the one that we did, it was right as that gust front was pushing through, and here in BCS, we didn't really see any rain from it, but we saw gusts about 35, 40 miles per hour. That brought in some more stable air. And so now all these thunderstorms are moving into cooler, more stable air, or areas that have already seen rain and stuff like that. And so I really expect the severe threat to be pretty low. Kaylee's going to come in and relieve me here within the next hour or so, and she'll probably just kind of keep the stream going until these storms are completely out of here. But once things start quieting down where you are, they will probably stay quiet for a long time. Hopefully that helps answer your question. Somebody says good night for Doc and Marty to get back to the future. Yeah. There's a lot of gigawatts of electricity out there. Let's go back to our campus radar. Crystal, don't let me forget to answer that midway question. I'll get there in just a second. Let's go back to our campus radar and look at what velocity looks like over town right now. Again, that little sphere there's the radar freaking out because it's getting rain on it. Okay, so everything still looks pretty well below severe limit, so that's good.
Jacqueline, where are you located? Sorry about that. Again, it's probably lightning related. I'd be pretty surprised if we saw wind related outages at this point. So hopefully that's a quick fix. Midway, you know, there's a chance in Midway y'all don't get a ton of rain from this. This is going to keep scooting to the east over the course of the overnight. And so, like, these areas, kind of Leon, Houston, Trinity, like northeastern Madison, I don't think y'all are going to see a ton of stuff. It got really heavy just now here at the station. Let's look at these rain rates. We haven't talked about that in a while. Ball Prairie getting thunder and lightning. Oh, Fairway Drive. Okay, so like Fairway Drive, like by campus? Like off of George Bush? Stina says getting loud in Chapel Hill. Yeah, the gust front's about to, y'all. Probably going to get a little bit louder before things quiet down for you. Okay, let's talk rain rates. Woo, we've got a couple that are peaking 3 inches plus. Come on now, give me something. There we go. Yeah, 3.5 inch per hour rain rates in some of these little parts of the cell. So that's probably at least a quick inch going into Easterwood. That was a good lightning strike right there. The South Bryan folks, we just got half the town woken up with that one. Oh, that fairway. Okay, gotcha. Goodness. Man, should we hop back on air for all that? That's a lot. There have been times where I've thought about hopping back on air just because it was loud. And if you have that KBTX weather app, you got that notification. What I'm going to do, though, I'm going to send out another push just for the hay of it, to let people know that we're still here streaming. Got another report in Welborn's raining hard there off of Capstone and South Dowling. How long is it going to last at College Station? Probably for the next 30 minutes to an hour. Yeah, lots of lightning. James, thanks for that live report. Appreciate that. I'm just hopping onto the live stream and making sure, just for good measure, that we push that out real quick to folks on the KBTX weather app. Live video. Priority high. Put that at the top of everybody's app. Okay, we're going to send that out, and that should be sent out now. Okay. Off and on there off of Broadmoor. Christina, very unlikely. I will take a look at Hail Vision here again. Yeah, I'm not pinging any hail. We're getting to the point where we're very moisture laden, and I think we pretty much passed our biggest hail potential of the week. I don't think it's impossible that storms later this week drop some hail, but I think it's pretty unlikely. So again, really the biggest issue we're going to have with this, unfortunately nobody's out there driving right now. The biggest issue we're going to have with this round that's rolling through
is the flooding potential and then like the sporadic power flash issue because of lightning. Christian says, here's firefighters off of 21, power's out on Tabor Road. Big streak lightning hit something in Brenham. Yeah, it's still a beefy storm down in Austin County too. Again, that's nothing to sneeze at. Ooh, yeah. So I mean, we're probably still finding about 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts there, closer to Hempstead. Yeah, that's sampling at about 48. Wouldn't surprise me if they issue another warning closer to I-10. But yeah, no warning here in Brazos County. Tina's got power flickering on and off. No power in North Bryan. Yeah, Cammy, you sure did. Just in time for us to get some spring storms in before everybody tries to get on to summer vacation. Sam's got power out. Okay, what we're going to do here in a second, actually, we're going to pull up some power outage maps. I'm going to pull... Okay, cool. I'm going to pull that up. And I know there's a way that I can route that. Okay. Mac Mini to... No. Hold on. I'm going to get this. Because I saw all those buttons earlier. I just can't find them right now. Routing Util 81. PCR 1. TVU 1. Live U 1. See, but those are all to Util 82. Ah, router 1 to Util 81. Okay, I see that. But I need to get the weather graphics back after I do that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pull that up. Router 1 to Util 81. Uh-oh. That didn't seem to work. Well, I wanted the... Hold on. I can do this. See, it showed up in the left box, but not in the actual... I think I might have... Yeah, I was trying to do that, but it just doesn't seem to be letting me do that these days. And I don't really know why. Okay. I fear I may have hit one too many buttons in here. So I probably won't mess with it. Oh, we've got one outage that's over 1,000. One outage over 1,000 in between Villa Maria. Let's see, there's Texas. In between... am I looking at this right? Is that like the Oaks? Oh, yeah, the power's out right outside the station. Like all of Tanglewood area, back over towards Sul Ross Elementary, off of Rosemary, all the way back to Taro. Yeah, that was a big one. And then back into the Oaks. And then there's another big outage in North Bryan. Let's see. Crew, these are... Okay, we've got crew assigned. It doesn't look like a crew's been assigned to those two bigger outages yet, but I bet you there will be here soon. Yeah, power up by Tanglewood Park. I haven't rolled up my sleeves yet. Hopefully we get through the rest of the spring without me having to roll up my sleeves. We've had a couple of very long streams because of the weather, but fortunately we haven't had much roll your sleeves up type weather.
I did do one 10 o'clock newscast without a jacket on, without a suit jacket. And that's the first time I've done that in a hot minute. It's been a minute since I've done that. Yeah, I think we're sitting a little over 4,000 Bryanites without power. So that's not fantastic. And again, that's all lightning related. All right. Lights going on and off by Planet Fitness on Briarcrest. I'm surprised the lights aren't completely off because that's around that bigger outage. Storm is going to slowly start to work its way out of the BCS area, move into Grimes and Madison and Waller County after that. So we probably still have a couple of these big old crashing lightning strikes left, but the strongest wind is already starting to move out of BCS, and the heavy rain is not long for BCS either. The heaviest rain is right along the Highway 6 corridor. I'm going to put this in motion here for you, and then we can put a storm track on it, not on when things will arrive, but as things will start to quiet down, and hopefully that'll help you out just a little bit. So yeah, the rain rates are starting to come down. Maybe not so much for Washington County folks. I know I haven't talked about y'all in a minute, but if you live along the Brazos from just east of Belleville, stretching all the way back up to almost Navasota, the rain hasn't started there for you just yet. The rain and the wind is coming as well. Sally says, please no hail. I can do that for you. It doesn't look like we're looking at any hail with this. All right, so there it is over the last hour. Again, we last clocked this at about 30 miles per hour to the east. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, instead of the leading edge of it, kind of the back end of the heavier rain and say, okay, this is when things are going to start wrapping up for you. Not completely stop raining, but really start wrapping up for you. So again, like especially the west side of BCS, within the next 10 minutes. Eastern Brazos County, probably more like the next 30 minutes. Anderson, folks, kind of weird to think about because it hadn't really started raining there just yet, but like in about an hour-ish is when things will start to wrap up for you. So obviously stuff gets there before that. And then on and on we go. Yeah, South College Station can confirm that there are people awake because I just got texts. Yes, power out is out near Villa Maria on a large portion of South Bryan. Yes, I haven't heard the generator click on, but we do have generator power. You might be just outside of where that power outage is, but yes, we have an industrial size generator for cases such as these. Jason's got a transformer fire. Send that to Rusty. Okay, Kim, perfect example. Like on the west side of Bryan there in Traditions, things are starting to quiet down for them. It's still pretty heavy here in South Bryan. A lot more bark than bite to these storms, but at the same time, I mean, lots of cloud-to-ground lightning is causing some issues. Don't see any crews assigned to those bigger... Oh, yeah, okay. Crew was assigned to that bigger South Bryan outage. Also, shout out to the linemen, y'all.
Every time this comes around and I see, oh yeah, crew's out there, you got to think, somebody out there braving the elements so you guys can get your power back on. Linemen are the best. Trying to find the right button. Texty Rusty. Yes. I will find that right button. In fact, I used the right button earlier in the stream. But alas. Yeah, still, so that special weather statement covers pea-size hail and wind gusts 40 miles per hour. Are we still looking at any severe? I don't believe so. I think even that last one in southern Austin County was allowed to expire, and they reformatted that to just a special weather statement. Thunderstorm wind gust of 53 miles per hour right over Bastrop. That's the strongest wind I've seen closest to us. So again, that's good news. There is some stuff building back out to the west now. That may roll through here closer to about 3, 4 o'clock, but I don't think it's going to be as rowdy as what we see out there right now. So there's the additional stuff that we're looking at that's still west of Austin. Rochelle, it's going to be a hot minute. The heavier rain stops first, and then the thunder after that. So for a lot of BCS here within the next 30 to 45 minutes, we're going to wind things down pretty quickly. That severe thunderstorm watch expires at 1. And so I think that for timing-wise, they did pretty good. Obviously, we did not see a ton of severe weather, and that's fantastic news. I still need to hear from my Giddings folks, and Page was another one where I know there was some wind-caused power problems. So I got to hear from my Lee and Fayette County folks, because I think that was where we saw the strongest winds roll through tonight. But the biggest issue we're running into right now is how electric these storms are, and how many of you are saying, you know, you've either got power flickering or just completely out. Jamaria, that's probably a good call. In fact, you know what we can do? I'll do you one better. Let's pull up the Navasota Live Eye, and let's just see if we can find it that way. Shout out to all the friends up and watching still. Absolutely. Appreciate you all being on the stream. Thank you guys for trusting us. We do not take that lightly. All right, so there is Briarcrest and Highway 6. I love it when the automatic sensor... Ooh, that was a big lightning strike. Okay, let's get that up. I love it when the automatic sensor is like, yeah, it's thunderstorming outside. You're like, you think? Okay, so there's Navasota looking southwest, just out of frame. Yeah, there it is. Let's get, no, go back. Wow, look at that. That's the type of lightning that'll cause power outages, most definitely. You can see that on the horizon. Let's let the camera get focused again. And of course, now that I'm talking about it, nothing's happening. Yeah, there we go. Saw one right on the horizon that was just a big boomer. So this is Navasota. Yeah, it doesn't look like the wind has gotten to downtown Navasota just yet, but it's pretty soon. You're going to see that pretty soon. All right. I'm going to look at the 5-minute observations for BCS and see what we've got as far as rainfall totals. Possible tornado in Navasota, I think very, very, very unlikely. There is a gust front moving through, so you'll see some wind and then you'll see a lot of lightning. But to me, the lightning is what is more likely than not going to be a bigger impact for y'all down in Navasota. Yeah, let me see here. Okay, so we're still obviously looking at plenty of rain here over town. Velocity scans look good. Let's go back to the bigger picture radar and talk Navasota. A lot of Navasota folks just woke up. They're in the chat. Good evening. Good morning. Should we say good morning? MC on YouTube says thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. MLG says heavy rain again in South College Station. Pick back up at Capstone and Dowling Road. Yeah, Navasota folks, it's the stuff rolled through BCS before it did for y'all. So I actually tend to think that it's not going to be quite as strong as what just rolled through BCS for you guys in Navasota. But still some quick gusty winds and then just very, very loud rain and thunder. Still very electric storm moving through Waller County as well. Yeah, the southern part of the storm is what has been for a while now the strongest. And so I know we've got some Waller County folks, and what this kind of looks like, it's almost hiking back up to the north and east again. So we'll need to watch this for Prairie View, Hempstead, Magnolia, maybe eventually Montgomery, Todd Mission, areas like that. None of this is severe. By the way, again, we're not looking at any active warnings, but obviously these have packed a punch because we're still looking at widespread outages. It looks like that South Bryan one was taken care of already. We still got a big North Bryan outage, about 1,000 customers off of San Jacinto 21 and like anywhere on the west side of 6. Off of Tabor. That one, I assume, has got a crew assigned to it. And then there's some scattered, like, half dozen outages. There's another one. Somebody did say their power was out towards, like, kind of around Topgolf, off of Fairview and Forest. That is being looked at as well. I think that one specifically off of Fairway's got a crew dispatched there now. So hopefully your power comes back on pretty soon. Yeah, Franklin, you guys are good to go. Who in here? North Zolch? Any North Zolchers in here? You guys are finally getting some rain. Power back on 3 miles south of Welborn. Thank you, James. Glad to hear that. Sarate wants to know, is it going to stop soon? If I butchered your name, I apologize. If you're in BCS, yes. Things will continually quiet down now. And like the rain is not nearly as heavy here in South Bryan, and things will continue to quiet down. Jennifer, I have not slept yet either. Looking forward to it. Whenever that may be. I am looking forward to it. Megan on YouTube wants to know anything to worry about for... Okay, there's my North Zolcher. Very good. Anything to worry about for Centerville tonight? No worries. It might get a little noisy for y'all.
post 1 a.m. But no, there's nothing severe headed your way. I do think we're going to get another whack at this cluster of thunderstorms that's essentially now kind of moving into the greater Houston area, since we really count Waller County as that now. And people were asking about hail. Might see a little bit of a hail core materializing there. This is south of 290 though, so again, most of you in the stream probably don't need to worry about that. But I will keep an eye on that for southeastern Grimes, Montgomery County as well. Somerville, you're fine. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. I appreciate y'all. I'm glad that it is helpful. When we first started doing the Facebook Lives, we didn't... I mean, gosh, I guess we've been doing it since before COVID for sure. So almost 10 years. And we were happy when it would get like 50 to 60 people on the stream. And I don't think we fully knew the capability of being able to stream and being able to hear from y'all and get real-time reports from y'all. From anything from power outages to hail size and just and stuff like that. Like, it really is a game changer. The streaming is. And I think that's just the future that we're headed towards, where we do most of our like live weather coverage, especially the non-severe weather coverage. Like, this is technically non-severe, but it's obviously very impactful. It's got people awake on a Tuesday night at 12:35. Hop on the stream. Brenham, thanks for quieting down for y'all. There's still a good bit of lightning in your area, but you're clearing out from west to east pretty quickly. So the heaviest rain for y'all is done for the night. We may see another round try to roll through a little bit later, but I think it's going to be way lighter. You know what else I love to see is like all the rain down here, because this is kind of one of the bigger drought areas. I mean, prayers up for Corpus, folks. I think this will maybe buy him a day or two. Nope, no tornado activity in Navasota. It is going to get windy. Rain's going to get heavier there before it starts to calm down, but no, we're not expecting anything tornadic. Curtin, things should start to quiet down for y'all within the next 20. I'm just looking around in Navasota there. Still pretty calm there in downtown. James, appreciate the report. I was actually expecting a little bit more, but that's still, I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, that's not surprising. Would appreciate that. We've gone from the scary big loud thunder rain to now the rain is making me sleepy type of rain. Where we are in Bryan. I know some of you are just getting started with the heavy rain. Washington, Chapel Hill, Hempstead, Prairie View. Now getting back like Whitehall, Todd Mission. Stoneham. Okay, James, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that's a noisy little cluster there over South College Station. Man, if you're south of Fitch, that is keeping you up. That's from about the Speedway. All the way back up to Tower Point. That's a big cluster of big, noisy storms.
Here's behind this again. There's some activity. I'm gonna put this over the last hour, and it's mostly moving south and east. But there's a little bit of redevelopment too. I think there's still a decent chance we see like another round in the early morning tomorrow. So Wednesday could start a little bit wet, but the severe threat is very low. Like for the rest of the week too. And if I had my handy dandy SPC graphic, I would throw that on here. But I have pushed, I feel like, too many buttons at this point. So I'm not going to push any more right now. I'm not going to press my luck with this stream because we've had a good stream. I don't want it to derail now. Also appreciate you folks who have utilized our new .com feature where we're able to do these weather streams on a more regular basis and do that on our website a lot easier than it used to be. And for those of you who, especially our Grimes County folks who are DirecTV, Dish, who just don't get us anymore. The smart TV apps, you can get us that way too. And whenever we do weather streams, you can pick us up that way too. And of course, appreciate the Facebook and YouTubers as well. Somebody wanted to know about Marquay and Centerville. Y'all will probably get some rain and rumbles here over the next hour or so, but a lot less heavy than what everybody else is seeing. There's still like some lightning up that way, so I think you're probably going to hear more thunder than you are actually see rain. But there is some stuff in between, say about North Zolch and Keith Lakes that's trying to move up towards Normandy. So you're probably not going to see anything super heavy tonight. It wouldn't shock me if y'all get about 1/10 of an inch. Obviously these are the much heavier storms that we're still looking at here. While we're sitting here, let's do this over the past. Let's go over the past 12 hours and just kind of show you how things materialize today. My North Bryan folks off of Tabor, I'm still looking at y'all. BTU outage still there. I'm hoping that's restored soon, but that's the biggest single outage we're looking at in Bryan. Oh, Dish got us back on. Good. Danielle, yeah, y'all are in the home stretch as far as things quieting down. So we had 3 sources for rain and thunderstorms today, and they all kind of worked together to make what was a very complicated forecast actually ended up not being too bad at all. From some sea breeze thunderstorms and this weak little low that we saw from storms this afternoon, and then we saw outflow from a weak cold front. That is what rolled through here BCS around dinner time, a little bit after that. And then all this activity to the west, this big complex of storms that eventually kind of turned back to the north and to the east and is what is responsible for giving us the rain now. And here we are. Yeah, South College Station, folks, it's taking its sweet time to get out of there. Here in Bryan, it's quieted down a little bit quicker. It's still raining. It's still rumbly, but it's louder out y'all's way. But y'all are good. Again, my only concern for y'all down Welburn Way is for an unlucky lightning strike to knock out the power momentarily. Looking at CS Utilities. Looks like CS Utilities is doing good as far as outages are concerned. So that's good to hear. Good to see. Excuse me very much. Very rude. Sorry. That may very well be the Brazos County big winners as far as rainfall totals are concerned. Along and east of Highway 6 from, let's say, about Pebble Creek down to Southern Point. It would not shock me if y'all ended up seeing the most rain this evening, in Brazos County specifically. Navasota, Milliken, still very noisy out there for you. This is eventually moving into Anderson and Carlos. And I remember earlier I believe it was this stream, somebody's asking about Carlos. And I think I said around 1 o'clock. So, not too shabby. But yeah, biggest reason I'm still on the stream is obviously this is still kind of rolling through our eastern counties that I haven't seen a whole lot, but it's noisy. And I just wanted to make sure that I hop on here to say that, the only thing that I'm really worried about at this point is lightning causing some power outages. Wind threat's largely gone down a lot, so that's good. Sorry, I'm just perusing through some comments, seeing if I can find anything else. Sorry about that. Kind of zoned out for a second. Rolling Ridge quieting down there, says B. Crystal, let's check. Wind shouldn't be above 40 in Navasota. Let's check that. Looks like they're starting to chip away at that outage off of Tabor. There's still about 400 without power, but that is down from the almost 1,000. So they're chipping away at that outage for sure. So that's good. Kind of centered around San Jacinto or 21 in Texas. So still some folks around Tabor Road without power, but a lot fewer without power now. Alrighty. That's my biggest concern is that part of the storm right there. And it's almost it's essentially in the Houston area now, but I know there's at least a few Magnolia, Pinehurst, Todd Mission folks who watch us instead of the Houston folks. So that's definitely now the noisiest part of the storm, and there could be some good wind along with it too. Let's see if Velocity wants to give me anything. Yeah, still trying to push out like some of those enhanced like 45, 50 mile per hour wind gusts. Yeah, the next band, there's a pretty big question mark attached to that. I mean, there is stuff that's kind of rolling in from the west. And it's kind of building back to the north too. So again, that very well could be another round tonight. I don't think it's going to be quite as severe as what we saw this morning. I don't even like this. I don't like this version of Future Radar. It just kind of has us nothing. I do agree with it once we get into the daytime hours on Wednesday that we really don't see a whole lot. But yeah. Here's I think a really good playbook for the rest of the week, and I don't think that this particular model does good on Friday, but I think it does do good on Thursday. So we start off the day maybe a couple quick showers, and then after lunchtime we just see popcorn showers and a couple thunderstorms. That's another quarter to half inch here and there, and then it quiets down into the evening. Overnight storms are possible. Then we go into Friday, and again, we just see some additional downpours. And then I think we just keep that rolling right on into Saturday, right on into Sunday as well. And so the lowest chance of rain that we have through the rest of this week is tomorrow because of what's rolling through right now. I think that's going to be enough to keep us quiet. But then the lingering moisture, daytime heating, the pattern we're under, we're going to see additional downpours throughout the rest of the week. We've got an 80% chance there for Thursday. We'll probably keep it at about that, to be completely honest. And then like 50 to 60% coverage each day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Memorial Day, Monday. So what folks have been asking about the weekend, about graduation, about stuff like that, and again, rightfully so, we're trying to do a lot of stuff outside this weekend. I think you're going to be able to do a lot of stuff outside this weekend, but there's a decent chance that you get rained on each day for at least a little bit. I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Memorial Day, Monday. So what is that? 4 days? No, 5 days. In those 5 days, I think you get rain at least 3 times. That's the type of coverage we're talking about through the end of this week. We had 4 to 6 inches as our totals for the next 7 days. Obviously, that comes, we've already added, we've already started to tally that. But an additional 3 to 5, I think is very much on the table here still. We'll really start to dive into this tomorrow, especially because we are going to get a good lull in activity. But where this says 4 to 6, I almost don't want to remove that. But we are going to bring it down a little bit as far as like additional totals. But as far as what we have tonight with what we very well could have coming the rest of tonight and what we have coming, Thursday through Saturday, I think especially, an additional 3 to 5 inches is absolutely in the realm of possibilities. Southwest Arkansas. Yeah, I can do that. I know. I'm a little familiar with Southwest Arkansas. My dad grew up in Southwest Arkansas. Yeah, so it's essentially from here stretching down to the coastal bend and into the Arklatex, so including southwestern Arkansas, that's just going to have a really good chance of rain leading right into Memorial Day weekend. I think especially for southwestern Arkansas, the first half of the holiday weekend. They're probably going to see higher rainfall totals, Louisiana, western Mississippi, areas like that, but there's still a real solid chance for more rain for southwest Arkansas. Ooh, that was a big thunderclap. Goodness. Berkshire's rolling through pretty strong right now. I mean, y'all are getting the bulk of that, but really that heavier stuff is more closer to Katy. So still some big winds. It's going to be really loud, but there's no active warnings down there in the Houston area. I don't really expect them to issue one. So I think eventually things will start to quiet down for y'all. But I don't really expect anything severe down y'all's way. The stronger stuff's moving closer to Cypress now. Yeah, that must be what I just heard, Sean. Jennifer, you do the same. Have a good night. Let's check on that BTU. Yeah, still sitting at about 400 there off of Tabor. But again, that's down from almost 1,000 a little bit earlier. Yeah, Janet, they will, but not as noisy. Assuming we actually see this materialize and move back into the area, it'll be a little bit more scattered. It'll probably still be noisy, but not as much so as what we've seen out there this morning. I do have a mild concern for some flooding stretching into the morning rush hour. That may need to be watched as we get tomorrow started. Excuse me. We're not doing ASMR. I should have stepped away from the microphone. All right. I think only had the one complaint earlier today about on-air coverage, which I get. I understand. People have their routines or things they like to watch on CBS. I'm not mad about that. Travis said Brenham is flooded. I believe it. Absolutely. A lot of places are probably out there. Things should improve through the overnight, but there's more scattered stuff kind of filling back in tonight, so I don't think we're going to see vast improvement of that overnight. But, that's from this point forward, I mean, that's something that we'll have to think about each time that it rains for the next week or two. Because this was enough to saturate us, in my humble opinion. The rain and storms that we see rolling through right now and finished up was definitely enough to saturate us out there. So the additional rounds that we get through the remainder of this week will be worth watching in terms of a flooding potential. Absolutely. Bryn, yeah, absolutely. It is my pleasure. That's why we do it. Again, it's not really more work so much as it is just more talking while we've been doing these longer streams. It's just a lot of talking. And I've seen my fair share of streamers and streamers that I think do really well with various types of content. And a lot of them are yappers. And I happen to be a yapper, so I don't mind getting up here and just talking for 2.5 hours. And an hour stream before that, and KBTX News at 10, somewhere in between. It's that time of year. I'll get my break. All of us have got sizable vacation time in June and July, so we'll make sure that we get our rest in due time. This is why we do it. Not to say that I love being here at 1:01 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. But if I don't expect that comes with the job this time of year in this part of Texas, then I think that would be silly of me. So, yeah, Sean, that's the idea. Is to not necessarily mimic them, but to take some of the things that I think they do very well, hyper localize it, and make it relevant, interesting, engaging, and just, above all else, get you the information that you need, right? If I'm going to run a promotional campaign that says hey, we're the only local weather team, we better be talking local, right? We better be showing you what's going on out there. We better be talking about Anderson, about Carlos, about Shiro, not just BCS. And really, and also not just big tornado-warned storms. Which, we had some severe thunderstorm warnings tonight, but by the time this stuff rolled into BCS, none of it was severe. But there was enough lightning to cause damage, especially in terms of power outages and stuff like that. That's what people want. So, Kaylee, absolutely. But yeah, a lot of those YouTubers are, again, very good at what they do and have several million followers and stuff like that. That's not our goal. Obviously, we would like to have a revenue stream from the no pun intended streams that we do. But the main goal there is to just meet you where you are with stuff. Thank you for that Brenham report. I'm relaying that right now to National Weather Service. That would be a problem. And if it's from the stream that I think it is, then unfortunately that could get a little bit worse before it gets better. So that's definitely something to watch for overnight. That's creeks from northwest where there's still rain falling up that way. So that is very suboptimal. Yeah, another round, not in as nearly as organized of a sense, but
Radar is filling in pretty well off to our south and west. So I mean, we'll get a sizable break here, and then there's some heavy rain kind of back building off to the south and to the west, and just kind of generally coming this way. I don't think it's going to be as heavy. I don't think it's going to be as noisy, and so therefore, like, the severe risk is none. But additional quarter to half inch, certainly possible. I'm just not, to be completely honest with you, I'm not super confident in that next round rolling through. Barbara, absolutely. Thanks for saying so. Margie says, please no rain. You might need to drive northwest for the next week. So I mean, Wednesday is your day. But other than that, there's pretty decent chance for rain each day until like early next week. One of the things I would like to get, though, I like how we have graphics in the background, but I would like a better audio system so that we can incorporate some more sound instead of just me talking. I don't even really know what that would sound like. Like, not necessarily get a soundboard, but I do think that could add something to the stream, which we have the ability. And to be completely honest, I'm still somewhat technologically illiterate with this software that we have, but we have the capability of like ingesting video and putting that in and editing it on the fly and showing that to you and pulling up different streams and stuff like that, which I've been able to do on past streams. And we had some kind of rerouting of a lot of the hardware in here that I need to refamiliarize myself with. But the idea is that as we do more and more of these streams, we'll be able to give you a better and better product, a more interesting, more engaging product. Within the next couple hours, like if we see this keep backfilling, it's 1 o'clock now, probably 3 or 4. So I mean, like it would very likely be pre-sunrise, but I certainly think it's possible that this kind of spills over into the morning drive. Absolutely. Just the way radar trends are right now with stuff that's building to our southwest and kind of moving northeast. But we'll probably get a good couple hour break before any of that starts to roll back in. All right, YouTube. Did the YouTube stream stop? No, I think we're still streaming. Oh, okay. I had it on the wrong thing. Okay, we're still up. Devin, I appreciate you saying all that. Yeah, again, that is why I am still streaming right now. Knowing full well that a lot of the BCS folks have gone to bed. I know how noisy it was when it rolled through BCS, and know that there's plenty of Grimes County folks who are waking up wondering the same thing. And if you take pride in the fact that people come run into you to check that weather, and by you I mean us on the weather team, you gotta keep everybody in consideration. Which, by the way, there's some Montgomery County folks who got hit pretty hard with rain and storms earlier who are about to get some more rain. So especially along and north of 105 in Montgomery County now, this next batch of rain rolling through is non-severe, but it could definitely cause some flooding. Let's see. 70 mile per hour gusts in Georgetown. This was at about 9:15. That might be as close as the 70 mile per hour gust got to us. I still want to hear from my Giddings folks tomorrow. I want to see what happens as the sun goes up in that town to see what things look like there. I still think that was where we saw the strongest winds locally. But the next one that I saw after that, I think we saw a 62 mile per hour gust in Bastrop. So south side of Houston, yeah. I mean, yes, I think ultimately is the answer here. Because what you're seeing is it's tough because this sector of the storm is more being carried by the upper level winds moving to the north and to the east. And then this cluster that you're like, yeah, that's moving northeast is almost stationary. It's around Wharton. And it's going to keep, I think, eventually moving back up north and east as well. I think right now, though, the northwestern half of Harris County is probably going to see more rain than South Houston is. But, yeah, I still think you'll see some rain before sunrise for sure. It's pretty rowdy over northwestern Harris. In fact, let me see. Yeah, maybe trying to get like a little teeny tiny hail core going there over Cypress. This is all part of Texas that I know a little bit more about than I used to, but still some stuff to learn. Because I used to confuse Baytown and Bay City, but now I know. Well, now I think I already went past Bay City. There's Palacios, Brazosport. Where's Bay? There you are. There's Bay City. Yeah. Went to Galveston, went to Moody Gardens a couple weeks ago. That was fantastic. Like, there's a lot of good eatings. And, like, this kind of area right here. Lots to explore. Gotcha, Kenneth. Yeah, yeah, I think y'all will see some rain tonight. Like, I think most of the heavier stuff may actually well stay to y'all's north and west, but I'd be pretty surprised if you didn't at least see some rumbles before the night was done. Well, that's good. Yeah. The only power outage concern I would have is because of lightning. Man, that's that North Bryan outage over off of Tabor is still sitting at about 400. It has changed to a crew has been dispatched and is working on it though, so hopefully that gets fixed. That's the last of the big outages, but there's still a couple scattered, like 2 or 3 dozen customer outages. One way out west, almost towards the lake. There's another one by Top Golf. There's still that one on Fairway. And I think that was one of the first outages, and they're still having trouble getting that one right by Midtown Park. I don't know exactly what the deal is with that one. But they're still having trouble with that one, unfortunately. So hopefully for y'all that gets fixed soon. Hopefully all those people are just... Marissa, power's back off. Man, that stinks. Yeah, it's still sitting at a little over 400 without power in that area.
JBC, no, we're not expecting any hail. No hail expected. In fact, I think the closest we got to finding hail was right as those storms were pushing through Milam. Any hail over here? Yeah, see, it looked like it tried to pulse up. I think, honestly, I think it's too... We have saturated the column, so to speak. So from bottom to top of the atmosphere is just a little bit too wet, a little bit too warm, I think, for us to see hail. So that is good. It's still raining pretty hard on the southeast side of Brazos County there, down in Navasota. The heaviest rain now, though, is north of 290, moving into, or rather through, northeastern Waller and into Montgomery. We'll stretch that all the way back up to there's Washington, Navasota. Wellburn's good. It's still wet, but y'all are good. Most of the... There's still some good lightning strikes off to y'all's east, keeping things kind of rumbly right along the Navasota River, but y'all are good. Y'all are good to go. It's taking a while for this to roll into Huntsville. Howdy.
Howdy.
How's it going?
It's going. It's rainy out there.
It is. And maybe a little break and then maybe some more stuff.
Maybe some more.
So I'd call that a forecast verified.
Forecast verified.
Yeah. The way it came together was kind of weird, but it worked out. Lee County, especially this part, which is, I guess, like all of it that I just circled. But like getting specifically, I would love if we could maybe get somebody out there tomorrow just to check it out. Round Top, also like Fayetteville, but like if we're talking Brazos Valley specifically, Lee and Milam, I think saw the strongest wind. Washington County had plenty of rain. We have a viewer in here saying that there was water over the road off of one of the creeks on Highway 105. Aubrey, I'll know a little bit later because I live down that way, but I've not been made aware of any big flooding down towards Welborn. But yeah, I think it should be just fine. Like just minor stuff in the morning. Yeah, so I'm curious, to be completely honest, how much farther south or how much farther north all this stuff can make it, and how heavy it is when it gets here. Yeah. Because it looked like it really wanted to fill back in and start moving north and east, but I don't know. I just have my doubts. Yeah. And then maybe this is buying Corpus another day or two. But it's not moving very fast, so maybe more than that. We'll see. Yeah. And it's falling right where it needs to. I think it needs to fall like something like this.
Yeah, I was somewhere like here.
Yeah. To get it into Texacola or whatever it's called. I don't think that's right. But yeah, graph is still quiet all the way through tomorrow. It's got like, I like what it does for Thursday. Not a huge fan of what it does for Friday. I just don't know that I buy it. So but it clears us out, I think, way too much tomorrow, first of all. Okay. But here goes into Thursday, like a bunch of like popcorn showers, a couple storms, and then it tries to get kind of weirdly cute with Friday, but keeps most of the stuff to the east. I don't know if I buy that yet.
Yeah, it's wacky.
And so obviously this time tomorrow we'll have Saturday data too, but I think you could even bring down tomorrow's 40 if you wanted to. Okay. I think 80 might. I don't think you would go up above 80 for Thursday. And these maybe could stand to be brought down to 50. Okay. But like I still think we're going to get rain every day. And I still even think we're going to get rain these days too.
Just a question of how much / how
yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. So like it's going to rain every day.
Just not all day every day.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it is once, I don't know if WPC's updated their contours yet.
Yeah, I don't remember when they do that.
I don't either. But I mean, they're still, see, they even like got cute with this,
Yeah.
like some 10 plus inches down that way. So I think maybe you say 3 to 5 an additional,
Yeah,
maybe
additional.
2 to 4 if you're feeling a little less optimistic, but
I think 3 to 5 is.
yeah. I think we still got a ways.
Yeah.
But I'm fortunate that the wind stuff doesn't look all that wild anymore. So, yeah, cool.
All right,
Okay.
get out of here.
Oh, all right. Get settled. Just turn your computer on and stuff, and I'll come get you in a second.
All right.
Almost an hour, so still some pretty heavy. Yeah. No, I don't think you have anything huge to worry about as far as flooding down that way, Aubrey. Kaylee, yeah, I think that drive should be good. Just rumbles up y'all's way. Like, it's probably noisier than it needs to be. Like, it's just moderate rain falling up that way. But yeah, I think if you're going from Hearn to Groesbeck, you're just taking those major highways. Yeah, I don't think you're going to have any issues. Okay, I will probably let Kaylee take over on the stream for at least a little bit as we continue to wind down here in town, but also still look at a couple of those storms moving through our southeastern counties. So she'll probably stay on stream for at least a little bit after. And then she's got to get things ready for BBTM. That's in a mere 3 hours from now. So she'll obviously be with you all morning long on that, especially if this next round actually pans out and we see some more stuff. I'm going to leave the stream on. She'll probably come in here and wrap it up after a little while. BTU outage is still going strong there off of Tabor Road, though, unfortunately, so hate to see that. But yeah, this will do it for me as far as tonight is concerned. If we need to start another stream tomorrow, we absolutely can. I don't know that we'll need to, because I think tomorrow looks the quietest of the remainder of the week. So, yeah, we'll go from there. Appreciate you guys. And we will check in with y'all soon. Thank y'all. See ya.
Well, good early morning, Brazos Valley. Did the fun little switch over with Chief Meteorologist Max Crawford, so now you get me for a little bit. Let's get our bearings here, see what comments we've got. Let's see. All right. Well, thanks so much for hanging around, sticking with us, guys. We appreciate it. Again, a lot of this is just, in fact, all of it, just kind of run-of-the-mill thunderstorms, so we're not finding anything severe. So that is really the best part, I think, about all of this, is that the fact that we're not dealing with severe thunderstorms. However, still very rowdy, especially across the southern portion of this line. So it's kind of right now the rowdiest is moving through Harris County, but likely about to move into Montgomery. So again, if we're looking at winds, again, nothing really too insane, which we'll take. We will absolutely take. We will get an update on those outages. Yes, still pretty big outage. Start time 12:06. Looks they're working on it now, so we've got about 406 out now. Initially, it was over 900. So again, seeing some improvements there, which is really nice. Got about 21 out off of 21. 21 off of 21. Looks like Corner Street, Castle Avenue. So smaller group there for sure. But again, all of these look like we've got crews assigned and working on them as they can, just because of how kind of rowdy the weather has been. CS Utilities looks good right now. There we go. We'll take it. All right. Let's check YouTube. Make sure we haven't missed anything. All right. Aubrey was asking about flooding. You were almost in Navasota, still heavy thunder and lightning. Yeah, so you guys are kind of, it's pretty rowdy right now. And looking at, if we want to look at rain rates here, pretty heavy. Let's give us a pause there. Yeah, moderate to heavy for sure. So I think when I was driving in down like University, mainly, there was some ponding on the roadways, but it wasn't crazy flooding wise, which is good. I think we'll have enough clearing, and hopefully the second round isn't going to do too much damage, so we don't have to worry about flooding for the morning drive. But I do think some standing water over the next few hours is certainly possible. So again, that could lead to again, maybe some slowdown of that morning drive. So someone's asking about Madisonville. You guys are getting some rain right now, light mostly, and just kind of probably those loud booming rolls of thunder. Got some flashes of lightning. Again, nothing too crazy here. And I don't think we're looking at anything hail-wise. We'll double check. Maybe a little bit in this bottom half of the cell. Again, kind of moving towards Conroe. I'm interested to see. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I'm going to try and get an estimate on speed of these things. Given special weather statement. What time is that? 1:08. All right. It's probably moving around 20. So let's do a timeline on this real quick. We'll go from the strongest portion right now. Again, kind of mainly for Montgomery, San Jacinto counties. So Shepherd, around 403 should be on out of here. But, so that's out of our neck of the woods. Conroe around 242. So you still got about an hour-ish before that's really an issue. And then really until then, it's a Houston issue. Or a Houston focus. Not really so much an issue. Let's go. Didn't mean to do that. But sure. Let's go kind of this cluster moving through southern Grimes. Give you a quick timeline on that. We're estimating about 20. Yeah, so Dobbin around 209, 242 in Montgomery, Conroe 252. So you're going to kind of get the bottom half first and then this top half if it all holds together. 310 cut and shoot, Hawthorne around 328, so just before 330. Cleveland about 357. So out a little south of the Brazos Valley, but in case you're watching. All right. Let's put this in play real quick. Kind of get us a broad overview of what's trying to... So this stuff out west, again, you kind of heard, if you were still on the stream at this point, when I got in, Max was kind of giving me a forecast overview here. This is building. I just don't know how much it is going to build to the north in terms of kind of the strongest portion of this line. You can kind of see right now that's sitting pretty much south of I-10, a little bit further to the north. And it kind of looks like this part is falling apart in terms of intensity, but still sticking around in terms of just general rainfall. So we will keep an eye on that. But I think we've got a little bit of a drying period across kind of the western half of the area. It'll be brief, but nice to let that water kind of subside. Right now, rain's kind of picking up here at the station too, but it is just rain, just that. Look at rain rates real quick. Yeah, you can kind of see those little more moderate pockets flaring up. North Brazos County heading up into Robertson County as well. Someone is asking about Hearn. So Hearn, kind of the same thing right now. Just generic rain and rumbles. Yeah, we got some loud ones here at the station. So noisy, but again, not incredibly impactful. So we'll stay on stream here for the next couple of minutes. Just kind of see how this behaves, because lightning's picking up a little bit up in Hearn. But again, we'll check winds, but nothing super concerning there either. Click around. It's a little breezy, but 30 mile per hour gust, not bad. Not bad at all. There we go. All right. Check YouTube, see if we've got any comments there. All right. Let's check those power outages again. Still got a really big batch of outages, I should say. Again, kind of off at 21. Go over here so I can read these a little better. Brookhaven, Harmon, Stone Hollow, Stone Ledge, Stone Haven, Stone View, Heritage Meadow, Primrose, Bluebonnet, Murphy. Just a few of the areas included in that outage. Again, 406 still out. And that one is a verified, but no crew assigned yet. At least it doesn't say crew assigned. Also got about 52 out. Forest Bend neighborhood over here, behind Finfeather. So it kind of looks like it's one little street. So 52, that has a crew assigned. And again, they will get to work on these as soon as they can, as soon as the weather allows, because obviously we want them to stay safe as well. But we'll go back over here now. So again, if you're kind of just hopping on the stream, you've hopped off, hopped back on. Brief overview, again, a lot of the intensity of these storms has died down. Right now, the strongest portion is in Harris County, moving towards Montgomery County. And as for the Brazos Valley, we've got a decent amount of rumbles in southern Grimes, but even that has really taken a step back in intensity here over the last, I'd say, 10 minutes or so. And then really everything from Brazos County north that is finding rain right now is just generic rain and rumbles. Again, those rumbles probably pretty loud and waking some people up. But again, just generic thunderstorms, which we will take as long as we can continue to get this rain at a responsible level. So because things are starting to take a step down in intensity and looks like we've got a decent break behind this, I think I'm going to step away from the stream for a little bit. I'm going to go start forecasting, get ready for Brazos Valley this morning. Again, that starts at 4:30, so we'll be live tracking the latest there. And we'll talk about what we can expect the rest of the week. Of course, if anything rowdy pops up in between that time, I will be back on stream, on air as needed. I don't think I will be needed on air, but again, if things get rowdy, meet us back here. Of course, Facebook, YouTube, and over on kbtx.com on our live stream. Lots of ways to find us. And again, the best part of all of this right now is that it is just rain and thunderstorms. So try and get some sleep if you are being awoken by small children or dogs. And again, if anything gets too rowdy, we will be back here keeping you up to date with the latest. But for right now, I'm going to step away and go start forecasting, get ready for Brazos Valley this morning. Again, that starts at 4:30, so you can catch us live there. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your night, morning, both, either or. And we will catch you guys on the next one.